Welcome back. We can bring you more now on the Israeli attack on Iran. Joining me now is Dr. Efrat Sopher, who is chair of the Board of Advisors at the Ezri Center for Iran and Gulf States Research. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on Sky News. How do you think the attacks are being framed domestically within, not just within Iran, but also to the supporters of Iran?
Well, this is a very, very interesting question. Ever since the Islamic Revolution in 1979, when the Israeli embassy was unceremoniously given over to the PLO, Iran has pursued a policy vehemently against the state of Israel and its proxies. And so today, Iranian regime supporters, I think, will be seeing a new form of deterrence from Israel. Israel set out, following the paradigm shifting strike on Saturday night, a direct attack from Iran, which has never happened before. And so Israel wanted to work on a tenet of deterrence, an evolved one, which didn't include escalation. Israel was not interested in that. And no escalation and no revenge, simply deterrence, because Iran's allies are also watching to see how the West would react. And so we saw here, in the face of a strike with over 331 missiles being sent to Israel, at Israel, Israel was able to preserve its deterrence, by kinetic means, by having a handful of missiles hit what I understand is air defense capabilities in Iran, and while holding together a really extraordinary coalition of Western allies as well as Sunni Arab states, which is an extension of the Abraham Accords. And it shows us what potential there is going forward. Now, interesting thing, I mentioned the Islamic regime because the Iranian people themselves, it's been quite extraordinary to see their reactions since. Now, I did a lecture about how good relations between Israel and Iran were before the revolution. And this video, which has been on social media, has been picking up traction. And there are a lot of shows of support from within Iran, which I think shows the shaky level of stability of the regime itself.
But do you not think, Dr. Sopher, that perhaps what it revealed, you're describing the potential of Iran to hit harder, but did it not reveal that the military might and strategic capability of Israel was just much greater?
I think it showed the level. I think when one is dealing with Iran, it's not only military capability, but it's also strategy. And so, yes, it did show Israeli military capability, yet it showed restraint at the same time. And as your commentators have been saying all day, is the proximity to the nuclear facilities, for example, within Isfahan. And so I think we're seeing a mix of both military skill and military strategy and a lot of restraint.
Hezbollah so far seems to be accepted that no red line has been crossed for them. What do you think about that, and how long might that remain the case?
It'll be interesting to see now to what extent Iran has said that it has been saying that not much has happened. It's been a non-event, which is a very interesting thing to see. What we need to continue watching, though, is Iran's proxy activity now. We've seen rockets fired into northern Israel. That's an interesting development. As we know, Iran is a big supporter of course, the IRGC, which is the father organization to the three H's, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, among others around the world. And so we really do need to watch proxy activity now and to see if Iran has veered away from direct conflict with Israel, to what extent it will take it to the other fronts within the war.
It's being suggested that the more limited than might have been attack from Israel on Iran has perhaps been tempered in some way from pressure from Western countries, particularly the United States. Who is the Iranian regime listening to? Because everybody keeps saying it's in nobody's interest for this to blow up into a big war. Who do they listen to? Do they listen to Russia? Do they listen to China?
I quite firmly believe that they do listen to Russia and to China. It's an ironic fact that the same Shahed missiles that were sent in the way of Israel were used by Russia a couple of days beforehand on Kharkiv in Ukraine. And so there is a direct line, I believe, of communication with Russia and China. Russia and China are watching also to see how the West and the coalition will react to this. And so the need to deter not only Iran, but Iran's allies is paramount, because I think that this new coalition, the West, the Sunni Arab states and Israel, all realize the potential danger of the Islamic regime.
Okay. Dr. Sopher, thank you for your time.
Thank you.